Did you know that your legs are often the very first place to reveal how long you are going to live? It's a frightening thought. But those aches, that swelling, or that subtle weakness aren't just normal signs of aging. They are early warning signals from your heart, your kidneys, and your metabolism that we absolutely cannot ignore. You might be thinking, my legs have been hurting for years, or I've tried everything. Or perhaps you've just accepted that this is part of getting older. However, what we are about to cover goes far beyond the standard advice of take a walk or wear compression socks. We are going to dive into the biochemistry of why your legs are failing and the specific, actionable protocols to reverse it. We have organized these into 5 crucial insights, ranging from essential fluid management to a nutritional game-changer for your arteries. And you will want to stay with us until the very end. Because our final point, game-changing revelation number 1, reveals a simple test that is arguably the single most accurate predictor of how long you will live. It's a test you can try in your living room today. Just a quick, important reminder before we begin. All the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet, exercise, or health regimen, especially if you have pre-existing conditions or are on medication. Let's use this knowledge to have informed discussions with them. Insight number 5. The Fluid Dynamics Protocol. Let's start with a condition that is incredibly common but often misunderstood. Edema, or that puffy, swollen feeling in your ankles and lower legs. You might notice that when you take off your socks, there's a deep indentation left behind, almost like memory foam. This is known as pitting edema. The issue here isn't just cosmetic. When fluid pools in your lower extremities, it means your circulation is struggling to fight gravity. The blood goes down to your feet through your arteries, but the return trip through the veins is sluggish. This stagnant fluid puts immense pressure on your heart, your kidneys, and your liver. It's a sign that the pump is under stress. Many people immediately think, I need to drink less water, or their doctor might prescribe a diuretic to flush it out. But there is a nutritional nuance that is often overlooked. We live in a world saturated with sodium. It's in our bread, our sauces, and our processed foods. Therefore, our bodies hold on to water to dilute that sodium. To truly grasp how this works, let's use an analogy. Imagine your body is like a complex canal system. Sodium acts like a dam that holds the water back, causing the levels to rise and flood the surrounding areas. In this case, your ankles. However, potassium is the lockkeeper that opens the gates and allows the water to flow freely. If you have too many dams, sodium, and no lockkeepers, potassium, you get a flood. The strategy here is to drastically increase your potassium intake to the recommended 4,700 milligrams a day. This is a huge amount. You can't get it from just one banana. You need to look at electrolyte powders, avocados, and large amounts of leafy greens. By balancing this sodium-potassium ratio, you naturally flush out the excess fluid. Now, when it comes to increasing potassium, it's especially important for us to approach it with awareness. If you have late-stage kidney disease, your kidneys might struggle to process high potassium, so you must check with your doctor first. But for most of us, this electrolyte balance is the first step to reclaiming our ankles. Insight number 4. The nerve restoration secret. Moving deeper, we encounter a condition that affects so many of us. Peripheral neuropathy. This usually manifests as burning, tingling, or numbness in the feet. Why does this happen in the feet first? It's because the nerves running to your toes are the longest in your body. They are the furthest supply line from headquarters, your brain and heart. If there is any disruption in supply, the furthest outpost suffers first. The primary culprit here is usually high blood sugar, even if you haven't been fully diagnosed as diabetic. We often think of sugar as just empty calories, but biologically, high blood sugar is corrosive. Think of your blood vessels like a garden hose. Now, imagine pouring sand and jagged glass shards into the water running through that hose. That is what excess sugar does. It scratches and destroys the lining of the tiny capillaries that feed your nerves. When the capillaries die, the nerve it begins to misfire, causing pain, and eventually dies, causing numbness. Therefore, managing the sugar is step one, but simply cutting sugar might not heal the existing damage fast enough. We need to repair the wiring. This brings us to our nutritional secret, benfotiamine. This is a fat-soluble version of vitamin B1. Regular B1 is water-soluble and has a hard time penetrating the fatty layer of your nerves. However, benfotiamine can slip right through that barrier to heal the nerve directly. Combined with alpha-lipoic acid, a powerful antioxidant, these two supplements can act as a repair crew for those frayed wires. Insight number 3. The second heart activation strategy. Now that we are addressing the fluid and the nerves we need to talk about the mechanics of getting blood back up to your heart. This leads us to a strategy involving a muscle you probably ignore. The soleus. As we age, we tend to become more sedentary. Sitting is the enemy of leg health because the veins in our legs rely on muscle movement to squeeze blood back up against gravity. When we sit, the blood pools. This leads to chronic venous insufficiency. Those purple, spiderweb veins and the browning of the skin near the ankles. You might think you need to go for a run to fix this, but not everyone can run. The soleus muscle, located deep in your calf, is unique. It is known as the second heart. Unlike other muscles that run on stored sugar or glycogen, the soleus is designed for endurance and burns blood glucose and fats directly. Think of the soleus like a sump pump in a basement. Even if the main power, your heart, is working hard, if the basement, your legs, is flooded, you need that local pump to push the water up and out. If the pump sits idle, the water stays stagnant. The solution is the Soleus push-up. You can do this while sitting right now. Sit with your feet flat on the floor. Raise your heels as high as they can go while keeping your toes planted. Drop them back down. Repeat. It seems too simple, but studies have shown this specific movement can double the metabolic rate of the muscle and significantly improve blood return to the heart. It prevents the pooling that leads to clots and swelling. Insight number 2. The nitric oxide revolution. We are getting closer to our final reveal. This next insight focuses on the arteries themselves, the pipes that carry the life-giving oxygen to your legs. This is about preventing peripheral artery disease. Over time, our arteries can become stiff and rigid. They can also accumulate plaque, narrowing the passage for blood. When your legs don't get oxygen, they cramp when you walk. It's a condition called claudication. It's essentially your legs screaming for air. The inner lining of your arteries is called the endothelium. When it's healthy, it produces a magical gas called nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide like the traffic controller of your blood vessels. When it's present, it waves the green flag, telling the vessel walls to relax and widen, allowing traffic, your blood, to speed through smoothly. When nitric oxide is low, the lanes close down, traffic jams, and pressure builds up. Factors like stress, mouthwash, yes, mouthwash kills the bacteria that help make this gas, and poor diet deplete our nitric oxide. Therefore, we need to boost it manually. The strategy here is to consume high-nitrate foods. The kings of this are arugula and beets. When you eat these, your body converts the nitrates into nitric oxide. A fantastic habit is to mix a high-quality organic beet powder with cacao, raw ones. The polyphenols in the chocolate enhance the effect of the beets. It's a vascular super drink. Furthermore, getting safe sun exposure and breathing through your nose, nasal breathing, also boosts this critical gas. Game-changing revelation number 1. The predictor of mortality. We have arrived at our game-changing revelation number 1. We've talked about fluid, nerves, veins, and arteries. But this final point is about the structural integrity of the legs themselves and what it says about your survival. The condition is called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. We lose muscle mass as we age, but it's not just about looking fit. Your muscle is your largest metabolic organ. It is your sugar reserve, your armor against falls, and your battery pack for recovery. If you lose your leg strength, you lose your independence. There is a specific way to measure this, and it's shockingly accurate at predicting longevity. It's called the sitting-rising test. To truly grasp the weight of this, Imagine your muscle mass is like a retirement savings account. Every time you get sick, have surgery, or face stress, you have to make a withdrawal from that account. If your balance is low, meaning low muscle mass, one bad fall or one bout of flu can bankrupt you physically, leading to frailty. However, if you have a large reserve of leg strength, you can weather the storms of aging and bounce back. The test and the exercise is simple but challenging. Try to sit down on the floor cross-legged without using your hands, knees, or arms for support. Then, try to stand back up again without using your hands for support. You start with 10 points. Every time you put a hand, knee, or forearm down to help, you subtract a point. Studies have shown that people who score low on this test, meaning they use lots of support, have a significantly higher risk of mortality in the coming years compared to those who score high. Now, please listen carefully. Do not try this if you have bad knees, hips, or balance issues right now. We do not want you to fall. Instead, modify it. Practice sit-to-stands from a sturdy chair. Sit down, tap your bottom, and stand up without using the armrests. Therefore, your ultimate goal is to fight sarcopenia with resistance training. You must challenge your legs. Squats, assisted if needed, lunges, and walking uphill. You are not just building muscle, you are building a buffer against death. So we've covered a lot of ground today, from our first fluid dynamics protocol to manage swelling, building up through the nerve restoration secret and the second heart strategy, all the way to our game-changing revelation number 1 about sarcopenia and the sitting rising test. Each one is a stepping stone to a more vibrant, healthier you. These symptoms in your legs, the pain, the swelling, the weakness, they are the check engine light. You have the tools now to open the hood and fix the problem before the engine fails. Which of these insights, perhaps it was the Soleus push-up, or maybe the beet juice connection, or even the sitting rising challenge, resonated with you the most? Which one are you thinking of trying first? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share them in the comments below. If you found this journey through these health discoveries valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps others find our community. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more powerful strategies tailored for our fantastic group of healthy seniors. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep thriving.